everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Technic Trials with your host, Nighthawk. Uh, Mostly been working on getting some of the automatic smelting portion of the sorting facility done. So this is mostly where we left it with a couple of modifications. You can see here that the sorting machine has this tube connected up to the top. Currently, this chest that's floating up here is the default output for it. If we look in the configuration, we see default output is white, and we have a bunch of different ore types that are heading over to the blue. And if we follow the tube over here, this leads into another chest where we're staging all of our ore. And we have a filter that's pulling all of the ore out of the chest, and it's being pushed into a thermal expansions machine. I decided to actually switch over to using thermal expansion for our smelting process. I think it'll be a little bit easier and more efficient usage of the power teleport system and our power management system. So what we have here is from the thermal expansion mod, we have a pulverizer, and this takes the ore and grinds it up into pulverized ore of the same type. Technically, this is not necessary for our usage, but what this does allow is the opportunity to get secondary items out of it, which we send out to this chest on the side here. So anytime we get secondary output from this pulverizer, it's going to end up in this chest. So far, all we've gotten is rare earth loads, but there are some other items that we can end up with. From the pulverizer, it gets dumped into the machine right next to it, which is an induction smelter. This works very similar to the overall effect of smelting dust after it's been macerated, but in this case, either the ore or the pulverized ore is smelted, and it directly outputs 2 bars of the material. So in this case, it's working on copper, and we get 2 bars of copper and one item of slag. And the output from the induction smelter is dumped into the chest next to it. So right now you can see it's collected a fair bit of resources, or been smelting a fair bit of bars in here. And as a temporary measure, just so that I can get this portion of the machine up and running, I just have it dumping into this chest, and I have this chest hooked into the crafting system directly. Now, one thing that this induction smelter does require is each time it smelts ore, it requires 1 piece of sand. So what I've done, again, kind of as a temporary measure, we may make a series of machines in the using the pulverizers and other thermal expansion machines to continue creating sand. But for the moment, I just have it hooked in with a with a supplier logistics pipe that that just makes sand, or that just requests sand, to ensure that this supply of sand stays full. And it looks like we must be out of sand in our system again, which surprises me. I must not have put all of the sand that I collected. Oh, I didn't. So I'm going to take this sand and run up to the crafting chest and we'll use that as a spot to stage all of the sand here. I've also expanded the crafting room a little bit. Ultimately, this chest is going to have to be moved out of this area. I'll probably still keep a small chest in the area as a supply chest, but I don't want to have it. It can't be in this precise location, ultimately. But There's a bit too much stuff in there for me to move it at the moment, so I'm going to just live with it where it is. The location of these crafting tables is correct though, so I won't have to move these tables or anything like that. It's just that's the next row of crafting tables for the system. Uh, I will have to make a spot where I can put a chest with satellite pipes attached to it before long. Uh, I'm running into some of the items, like this one, that requires a bucket, which requires, and the buckets don't stack, so it won't work directly as is. Um, my other option is to try the automated crafting table Mark II, which I may take a look at that here in a moment after we go through the changes to our system here. Uh, so let's go through the uh, recipes real quick for the thermal expansion machines that I'm using so far. First one should be right here. Uh, the machine chassis is one of the building blocks for the thermal expansion items or machines, and it's built using 4 iron ingots and 4 glass surrounding 1 gold ingot. Thermal expansion is very gold intensive, so all of the items seem to take at least 2 gold. This is the redstone power coil, which so far all of the machines that I've worked with in the thermal expansion mod do require a redstone power coil, as well as the machine block, and that's with 1 gold ingot surrounded by 4 redstone. And then the powered furnace, I started with using this one because it looked like it was going to be easier to use, but the powered furnace, it acts as a regular furnace, except for that it's powered by Buildcraft energy. So it would hook in well to our power distribution network, but it doesn't do any of the it doesn't double the ore or anything else like that. So then we have the pulverizer, which uses a machine chassis, a redstone power coil, and kind of like the macerator, it also uses flint, and it uses a piston. And that part is the one that crushes our ore into the pulverized ore. And then finally, the induction smelter takes 2 sand and a machine chassis, a redstone power coil, and a bucket. And this is the one that will double our ore output, and it also gives us a bunch of slag. The slag is used to produce rock wool, which works just like regular wool, except for that it is fireproof. So that could be an interesting thing to look at the recipe for here in a moment. First of all, let's see if we can find the slag. And my nose seems to be a little bit stuffy, so if you hear me a little bit of the sniffles there, that's just because I'm stuffed up, not anything else. Let's see, where is the slag? We should be finding it in here. I don't see it. Let's look at supply and see if we can find it. It should be hooked into the system. Okay, this is annoying. Why can't we find it? We're definitely seeing all of the... At least I'm pretty sure we're seeing all of the bars in the system. Let's see, where's gold? Pretty sure that's coming from down our sorting facility downstairs. Yeah, that's increasing, so we're definitely connected, but I don't see the slag on our selection list here. Well, maybe let's go down and grab some, and maybe we can make it work directly. And I figure we might as well see if we can make some rock wool. And let's see, uses. Oh, that's right, we have to smelt it and it turns into rock wool. Right, so never mind, we won't do that quite yet. I'm not sure why that didn't show up in the system. Um, huh. What we may do is add a powered furnace to the chain and see if we can output, find a spot that we can output the uh, slag into a powered furnace. Uh, I think that will come later though. We're still having power issues on our main electric system, so we don't really need to overtax it anymore at the moment. So anyway, now we have the gold that we had collected all pulled into our system, and that's kind of a background of the uh, thermal expansion. There are more machines in the thermal expansion mod, which we will likely take advantage of in the future. Uh, there's actually a cobblestone generator machine, which could be kind of cool. Uh, you can also use that. You can take cobblestone and use the pulverizer to turn it into gravel, and then you can also use the pulverizer to turn the gravel into, or the cobblestone turns into sand and sometimes into gravel, and you can also use it to turn the gravel into flint. So you can have the cobblestone generator just dumping all the cobblestone into the pulverizer to turn the into sand, which you can then use to feed the induction furnace. So let's take a look at, uh, since we do have a crafting table with a problem, let's take a look at the automated crafting table Mark II. So we need a filter. Actually, let's see. We have two recipes here. Looks like we can take wooden transport pipes, a automated crafting table, and a chest to make the automated crafting table Mark II, or we can do it with filters and gold, and we still need a chest. And I think the second recipe here is by far the easier recipe. So let's first take a look and see if we have wooden transport pipes, and we do. So let's get, I think it was 3 of those. We need 8 planks to teach it how to make chests. We actually have a good number of chests already in the system, but we want to be able to have it automatically make them. And let's get an automated crafting table so we're not using our matched stock of them. Hopefully you can't hear my phone going crazy in the background there. Did it already come through? Oh. Standing around like a fool looking for a chest that already, or for a crafting table that was already in my inventory. So there's our chest. And now let's put a crafting table. Let's go request a chest. There we go. This should be coming from inventory. One of my storage chests upstairs has a whole pile of these. And then we need 4 more planks and the transport pipes. There we go. 4 more of these. You can also see our tree farm has been doing quite well. I don't see any apples or the other stuff in the system right now. What is this pipe? That's weird that one is not showing anybody connected. Wonder why it doesn't show anybody connected. Because all of these, the crafting travel really should be the only one that doesn't always have something connected. So this is where the bars from the smelting system show up right now. So that's connected. We're connected everywhere except for crafting out, which claims not to have anybody connected to it. Weird. Distracted. So let's see. We wanted to put planks around this and say import. Now let's get us a crafting table Mark II. Request. Now we have a whole bunch of stuff fly around. There we are. Put this on our bar. This is the one we need to fix. Now let's see if we can use this just like the regular crafting tables. Oh, this doesn't actually take stuff out of your... I might use these a whole bunch since resource, as long as they work. Okay, let's try to get us another induction furnace. Or induction smelter. Apparently I need more iron. Well, I know where a whole bunch of iron ore is. Well, I thought I did. Yeah, there it is. So, one advantage of having the system set up this way is even though it's really slow, at least right now, producing or smelting out the items, we don't have to worry about it overflowing or spilling on the floor. The filter won't actually send any of the items out to the pulverizer unless there is space in the pulverizer to receive it. And then if the pulverizer ends up full before the item gets to it, it just bounces right back into the filter and clogs it up, but it won't keep bouncing around. So that's kind of a really nice little bonus feature. Take a look at recording time because I didn't look at when I started this for some reason. Got about 10 minutes or so here. So anyway, that's kind of a nice way of avoiding problems. I'm actually going to go use the transmutation or equivalent exchange stuff to get some more iron bars in the system, because I really want to make sure that crafting table works with our stuff. So we should have we got a couple more diamonds. We'll make 2 more diamonds worth of iron. So take gold, should get us down closer. There we go. Two diamonds, 2 stack, or a full stack. So now we should be able to craft a induction smelter and have it show up. Waiting. And it works. Awesome. So, now that that's in the system, I may start switching our automated crafting benches out for the Mark II versions, because that is a definite advantage. That saves a whole lot of satellite logistics and all kinds of other uh, crafting bench issues that we would have to deal with. And they really are not that much more expensive. Uh, they take a few more things, but not that much more, and certainly nothing that we are even remotely short on. Um, so yeah, I think we will be moving down that line. Uh, I guess some other things that I do want to pursue here. Uh, I've mentioned before I don't want to use equivalent exchange for too many. Too many random or just. I don't want to have a whole pile of equivalent exchange things running around to uh, supply all of the basic resources if I can avoid it. So, since there are thermal expansion machines that do our uh, that we can use to make cobblestone and sand, we are going to want to go down that path. So we've already know how to make pulverizers. We need a let's see, which one is it? I think it is called. Taking a look here, an igneous extruder. Igneous extruder. That should be this one. So this machine is basically our cobblestone, smooth stone, and obsidian generator. So we need a pneumatic servo. So we need pistons and an iron ingot and glass. So we need 2 pistons, 1 iron ingot, and I think we have glass. We do. Oh, my inventory's full. Of course it is. Let's put these in here. Since those Mark II crafting benches have an inventory, they have the inventory space. I think you can actually, yeah, they'll actually hold stacks of things. I may use those to make some of the. I may actually change how I was going to do the factory. I was going to actually do a for the solar. I was actually going to do a full um, system with timers and everything else. But I think this, I think the crafting table Mark IIs will make an easier way to do this. So we may, in fact, what I think I'll do is toss those in there. And we may as well start changing over to them now. So let's grab 6 of these to match the number of crafting pipes that I have in my inventory at the moment. There we go. And like that, that'll get us set up to do this. I don't know if we'll do the solar stuff at the moment. Ooh, and these are easier. These are easier to place too. Yet another reason to use them. Okay, so we want to make pneumatic servos. So we need iron in the middle. We need glass and pistons. So glass and pistons. I think I have that wrong. And how many times do I need to look at the recipe? Glass is on top and bottom. Pistons this way. Let's see, will this... That's one drawback, though. because it won't actually import. So what I may end up doing, this is going to be kind of a painful way of doing it, but I think what I may end up doing, I'm going to put these in here for now. I may start with the regular automated crafting tables, and then import it into the system, pop it back out, and replace it with the automated version. Like so. Where did the pistons go? Oh, there they are. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Let's see. Well, I guess that's one way of doing it. This is kind of the hard way. I don't know, this may not be any easier when it all comes down to it. We'll have to play around here a little bit and see if we can figure out an easier way of working with these things. Oh well, I was actually going to need one of those servo things to make the next portion of it anyway. Let's see, let's put our regular crafting table. We need the servo, a machine chassis, and a piston. Here we go. Our servo, machine chassis, piston, and 2 glass. Import that. Pick up all the pieces. Put one of these back in there. So we need the glass, the machine, the servo, and a piston. Now we should be able to request one of those. There it is. Make sure the recipe works. Dump the extra parts in there for the next one. And let's see, we're also going to want a pulverizer. So we request one of those. We should already have most of those parts made. So now we have a pulverizer, and I think it forgot about the other recipe. Or I got the recipe wrong. Whoa. That was weird. My view just kind of jumped. What did I do wrong on the recipe? Servo, chassis, piston. Servo, chassis, piston. Glass on either side. Oh, it wasn't that recipe, it's this recipe. There we are. Helps if I put the recipes in right. I don't like that that automated crafting table 2 doesn't show you the what the recipe your what the output is of your recipe that you're having that you've stored in the system or in the table until you actually have all the ingredients in there as well. So let's see here. We are going to need power. So we'll extend our golden pipes down here. And this is going to be a temporary placement just to kind of play with it and see what it looks like. So basically we put water in one side, we put lava in the other side, and then if you're making obsidian, then I think it actually will use up the lava. But if you're making cobblestone or smooth stone, I think it should let us basically should work forever, I think. Does this have any inputs? Is this getting powered? I guess that one doesn't need to be powered. So this should work just as is, and it is picking up some power. So let's go get us I bet we have a lava bucket. We do. Request a lava bucket. And we're going to put a lava bucket in there. I don't know if it has to be completely full. Hopefully not. That would be annoying. Let's put our bucket in here, add some sand, grab us a water bucket. Actually, let's grab 2 water buckets just to be safe. Head back down and we'll power this up to see what it does. And probably wrap things up. So let's stick a water bucket in here. What I'm wondering, it may make it faster to be full. But I suspect we're already going to be plenty fast enough as is. And what we will do for the moment is we'll configure this right side to take everything. And we'll take cobblestone pipes, put them on our bar here somewhere, and come out this way. And of course I would be 1 shy. And there we go. There's some more of them. And that should dump all of the stuff that this produces back into this chest over here. Not an ideal place to store everything, but for the time being, we don't want to jump through too many hoops to make this whole thing work, so it will do for now. One other thing I'll say about the pulverizer is it does have 2 output slots, which means that when this particular type of ore is completely done, completely pulverized into the pulverized ore, the next ore that gets picked up by the filter can be released into the pulverizer, and it will start working basically immediately to pulverize that next stack of ore, even if it still has ore in that's stored, because it hasn't been able to push it over to the smelter. Um, these are kind of slow machines, but once we have everything up and working and have um, we have more of our uh, more stuff, words disappearing here, more automated systems and more power coming in, they may get faster. I haven't seen if they actually do get faster or not, but if it does end up being a big bottleneck, then we can expand this. We can expand our system here to include multiple uh, rows of the pulverizers and smelters and everything else. So it won't be a real big deal if we get too far behind. And right now you can see that the pulverizer has a full stack of cobblestone in it. The igneous extruder is happily making more cobblestone. Uh, I would like to see if it uses the liquids to, if it makes obsidian, but I don't really want to, I don't want to use up the lava and have to go track down more. Oh, okay, so apparently doing smooth stone does use up the water. Did not know that. So, anyway, it apparently used up a little bit of lava too, or something. Why aren't you working? I think I broke it. We won't need all that sand on hand anymore. Anyway, with that fail, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And please take a moment to subscribe. It really does help me out. Send a like on the channel or on the videos, and leave your comments. I love to hear from you guys, and I do look at all the comments that I get. So yeah, I will. With that, have a good night. I will see you guys later. Bye.